see a magic trick, Facebook. Check this out. Now you see it. No, you don't. That's a nice little illusion you can pull off. It's a sleight of hand sort of trick. You shake a little bit of spit, or if you lick the section of your thumb right there, and you press down on it, this is a little cigarette bar trick you can do. And when you go like that, and you go like that, you do it fast enough, you can hide it behind your hand. That's a sweet little optical illusion. Like, where'd it go? Oh, it's behind my ear. How do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyways. There's the start of this one. I feel like it's a third of the way done. Now after this one gets painted and dried, then 2 more get carved out and painted. Once the Mod Podge is on the middle. Yeah. And using Facebook Live is a great way to showcase these. I'm just fucking saying, with as many people that follow me, shine there. This one's practically dry. It's yeah. You might have like a crevice here and there where the Mod Podge is still drying, but it's dry for the most part. Enough to answer your question. I got enough sleep. To answer your question, when I say I'm carving out ones to sell on Etsy, I'm not even bullshitting, because people are going to be picky about certain colors and shit and this and that, so I do a variety of them. And these all took a bit of a minute to carve out, but the finished product I feel looks really good. Now cracking the window open lets some of that cold air in, and that'll dry them out faster, of course. Now the first time I tested out my method for making these wands, I made this one for myself out of the batch that I carved, just to get back in touch with it. to replace the one that I snapped for a spell. And that turned out decent enough. "4 hours of sleep," he says. No, I got enough sleep. And honestly, I have no fucking idea what's being sent to me via UPS other than the tobacco I ordered. So I have tempted to not accept the package because I don't know what it is. But at the same time, that's kind of an inconvenience for the people working. You know. So. Oh yeah, this is definitely a sick shirt to rock. I carve the wands directly into the trash cans, so all the wood shavings and shit go directly in where they're supposed to go. And I'm not going to be able to carve the last two wands until I finish painting this next one that I'm painting right now, so. There's no sense in slacking off. If I'm going to start a wand business, selling wands on Etsy, then gotta get to it. I can make some decent money, save up for a car, that kind of thing. Fuck the sex doll when you can have a car. I mean, if you're 44 years old and you haven't found nobody, it's a nice option, but I could spend my money on a kick-ass revolver or a kick-ass car, you know what I'm saying? Or touching up my Aussie tattoo and getting other tattoos. There's so much I could do with my money. And I got enough subscribers on YouTube, I can make this shit happen. Show a shit. As a matter of fact, let's see how many subscribers I have on YouTube right now, because this ought to be interesting. This is something I check on the regular. Damn, 6,480 subs. That's what's up. Cha-ching. People see the magic videos and then they see the same person who does the magic videos is selling wands on Etsy. They're like, I must have one. Instant selling point right there, ladies and gentlemen. I can't put that much paint on the wand, so hopefully it'll dry quickly so I can get to the handle. Get to shining it and letting it dry. And the shining. Well, since my name's Josh, I could be like, here's Joshy. Oh, that's a horrible movie reference. Red Rum. Red Rob. That was a good impersonation. If you're into scary ass movies, I guess. Your mother's in here with us, Harris. Would you like to leave a message? I'll see that she gets it. The first time that I saw The Exorcist, I chuckled. That shit was hilarious. This one is nearly done. And it's the polar opposite effect of the black one that I did. And as soon as the paint is dry enough, oh yeah, look at that. That dried up very quickly. Good, good, good. Should get the handle done now. Yes. Make sure that handle's on there nice and tight. Give it a twist. You don't want the leather coming off. And by the time it gets to the stage where those other wands are at, it ain't coming off. Unless you take a knife to it or whatever, but this is black paint, yes it is. I can now hold the wand comfortably without getting paint all in my fucking hands like a schmuck. You know the trick. I have a hypothesis, Facebook, on what might have happened earlier. When the wand fell off between the two paint cans, it might have been my powers just kind of subconsciously reaching out and making it move. I don't know why I got pissed off at it earlier. I think it's just because I didn't want the paint to get fucked up on it. And these things are cool looking. And they take a minute to craft up, but yeah, by the time they're all done and dry, it's a good looking product, yo. Stephen Walker says that a friend of his wants to get a certain something because he's nervous around women, etc. Yeah. Confidence building can be tricky at times, but unfortunately, rejection is a part of life. And, you know, it's not fun, but, this is an example. You look at Harry Potter and you look at Star Wars. When the scripts/books were brought to publishers, they laughed, they scoffed, they said it'd never go anywhere. And now look at it. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you get rejected, but maybe that's a part of life. Maybe it's meant to happen for a reason, I'm gonna throw a sweatshirt on. I'll be right back. But unfortunately, Facebook, life is full of double standards, and it's not fair that anyone has to experience them, but that's life. If a man goes to the police station and says he was raped by a woman, they're going to look at him and laugh. But men are pigs. We're supposed to love sex all the time, right? Now, if a woman goes to the police station accusing the opposite sex of raping her, she has to worry about being called a slut and this and that, and it's fucking stupid. But there you go. But here's the kicker of it. Anytime a white male complains about sexism or racism in our society, I get the whole, oh, you don't know how it is, so you don't have the right to complain. It's like, that may be so, but at the same time, we're still going to complain about it because it ain't right. I mean, comparing sob stories isn't going to solve anything either. It's cold as a motherfucker outside. But if I'm going to smoke tobacco in my apartment, I'm going to keep the fucking window cracked. Helps with the smell of tobacco, of course, and most non-smokers are not going to be a fan of it. The reason why it's called sexism is because it happens to both sexes. And the reason why it's called racism is because there's a racist in every race. Think about that for a second. Let that sink in for a second. Food for thought, Facebook. And as soon as this last wand I'm painting here is done drying, carve and paint 2 more and the batch will be done. Last week I didn't really work on them, and this week it's like, okay, well, if you want to make money selling these to your fans and shit, then fucking make them. That's all you can do. The car's not going to pay for itself, no, is it? No, it's not. I could very easily get a car for $1,800. Boom, it'd be done. Get me one of them project cars. The project cars are kind of a bitch to work on, but they maintain their value once they're restored properly. And they're a lot better than any of the shitty new cars that we have. They crush like a pop can. Because I guarantee you, if you had a 57 Chevy get into a head-on collision with the fucking Prius, which one do you think is going to survive? If you answered the 57 Chevy, you are correct. You win absolutely nothing, except the knowledge of knowing that older cars were built better. Congratulations. Come on down, claim your prize. It feels like a scam if they make cars that break easier to quote unquote protect you in the crash. It does that, but it ends up costing a lot more money to repair in the repair shop. See what I'm saying? And now you have to be a computer technician just to work on some of these newer cars, you know? And what the fuck is that shit? You're like 4 years in at Apple before you start working on cars, huh? Shit. Speaking of Apple, smart cars that drive themselves. You know, it's kind of like the robotic sex doll thing. People are just like, whoa, technology is advancing. I don't know. There's pros and cons to that. I mean, if you had smart cars for elderly citizens who couldn't drive anymore, that's a good idea. It has all their stops programmed into the car, gets them there safely. You know, that's a good idea. It also prevents drinking and driving, which is a good idea. But at the same time, I think you shouldn't need a smart car to be smart about drinking. You know what I'm saying? Facebook, like, dude, if you've had too much to drink and you pass out in your car and you don't drive, you're golden. You're fucking golden. You know what I'm saying? They can't get you for drinking and driving if you're passed out in your back seat. Worst comes to worst, you know. So if I had my Studebaker and I was at a hot rod show and I had a bit too much to drink, I wouldn't be driving. Fuck off. I'd pass out in the back seat. I'd be like, I am golden. I am protecting my car. Anybody comes near it, they get in their Asperger's kit. I like how I said that. You may ask yourself, why would you make fun of your own disorder? Because it takes away the power from the trolls who do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get made fun for being autistic all the fucking time just for posting a video on social media. And I make fun of my own disorders so that the trolls don't have power over it, plain and simple. If I see annoying comments on YouTube Live, that channel's just getting banned automatically. I'm not even gonna acknowledge it. It's fucking pointless. I might insult them a little bit, talk shit about their family, you know, and then block them from my channel because that's how I do. And if you don't like it when I'm doing YouTube Live, then be respectful. And not just to me, but to other people in the chat. That goes for Facebook Live as well. Like, everyone's allowed to have an opinion. I know it sucks for you and me, but, you know, freedom of speech is a bitch because it works both ways. So, chit chat with y'all while I paint up wands. Simple enough. And I don't need to death grip it in the vice clamp either, just lightly enough to hold it in place so it doesn't fucking move while it dries. Okay. Watching paint dry don't get much funner than this, now do it, Facebook. All jokes aside, we're that much closer to Cobra Craft wands. As for people stealing my videos, well, I have a little deal for that. Let's see. Some obsessive fuckwit named Internet Collective, not talking shit, but I'm just saying, stealing someone's videos without their permission. You know, that's grain of salt, I suppose. Let's see. That's the video. Whatever. This is the video report for violent or repulsive content. Choose one. Physical attack. Next. This is how you establish law, a lawless land of social media. That's all I gotta do. And watch the magic unfold. Well, thank you, Therese. You want to steal my videos without my permission, especially the one I deleted of me slapping myself because that was just stupid. Guess I get a little grumpy when I donate. But, man, that's no excuse. Be doing shit like that. Makes me feel like an idiot afterwards. If the math is correct, and I got 2 more to carve and paint, then this painted one makes the 8th one in the batch, in the first batch, legitly. And if they're shipped in padded envelopes that are yellow, that should protect them in shipping and shit. The return address is the address of the Casper post office. Then they can send it back to me privately if there's something wrong with it. That way I'm not giving out my personal address and shit. That's how you do that. Slowly but surely they dry. How fast they'll sell, nobody knows. Only time will tell if they will sell. But soon you could have your own wand to cast your own spell. That's the selling point, the point of the wand. The wand's made from Cobra Craft handmade wands. It's an adversively long slogan, but whatever. What the fuck ever. And quite honestly, this is how sex toys be like. If men are nervous around women, they have a hard time with that kind of shit. Look at a sex doll, because why the fuck not? But if women are sick and tired of men's bullshit, and they're like, fuck it, I'll just do it myself. They get a vibrator. They get a fucking vibrator, and fucking, if a man gets a sex doll, he's a creepy pervert, right? But if a woman gets a fucking vibrator, it's not frowned upon nearly as much, so that's something to think about, I guess. I got other fucking priorities, man. Like, it's not as, when you've had the real thing, it's not as good as the real thing. That's like comparing an e-cigarette to an actual cigarette. Metaphorically speaking, that's like comparing e-liquid to actual tobacco. It's not as good as the real thing. And the chances of getting pneumonia from an electronic cigarette are far higher than the chances of catching some sort of cancer from tobacco. As you notice, that shit takes years to form. And with the way medical science is advancing, I'm not worried about it right now. If smoking tobacco keeps my stress level down, then who the fuck cares? I'm 26. Eat my Asperger's. Oh, would you look at that? He's smoking. Oh, that's so bad for your health. Yeah, so is extreme amounts of narcissism and too much exercise, but people do that too. Oh, would you look at that? He's smoking. Yeah, I'm also jerking off here. You want some fucking hair gel? Shit. Most people aren't going to get that reference. It's like that Ben Stiller movie cross-referencing with Andrew Dice Clay sort of joke. Yeah. I explain it, people go like, oh, okay, I get it. Uh-huh. The fact that 5 people tune in to watch this shenanigan on a fine Saturday evening or early Saturday morning, depending on how you look at it. God fucking damn it. That's the other thing about smoking a pipe, though, is if you don't keep it unclogged, your tobacco is going to clog up your pipe and you got to clean it out. It's the less glamorous side of pipe smoking, but you get a delicious aromatic pipe tobacco that ain't no one going to bitch about. You be puffing on that shit and people are like, oh, that smells good. Yeah. Completely irrelevant to the point, but you want to see some cool shit, YouTube. I'll give two shites if you celebrate it or not. That's not why I'm doing this song right quick. It's to prove a point.
Of a white Christmas, just like the one I used to know.
Oh, look at that, Facebook. Gothic King Cobra can sing like Bing Crosby. How about that? Show off. Smoking a tobacco pipe, why not? Post some Bing Crosby right quick. There we go. Just a quick touch up on that paint job on this last one. That's looking good. I mean, what do I have to show for these so-called lawns of mine? It's just a couple in the batch that I've created that I hold in my hands. God damn it. I didn't mean to drop it, but it's solid as fuck, so I'm not worried about it. Be careful though. Yeah. Here's the red one, and it's fully dry. And then we got this one right here. And then we got this one. This one. This one. And there's this one right here. And then there's this one. See, I like how the paint faded right there. That's cool looking. And you can see with the Mod Podge is still pretty much the last spot it's drying is right here. Because this one just came off the vice clamp not too long ago. That's why there's still little streaks of Mod Podge that are still drying, but it's dry enough where it's not going to get all over the place. So by the time this gets done drying, it'll look like the rest of them. Freaking completely dry and shit. So, yeah. Merchandise, me. These look sellable on Etsy, I think. By the time they harden with the Mod Podge on the stick itself, these things are like solid as fuck. Haha, there I go doing shit. Whoa. Y'all hear that noise, right? My vice clamp moved on its own. Cool. Aww. Does the poltergeist want to play? I can play too. Does the ghost in my apartment want to play? Aww. Where's our friendly ghost? You want to play, don't you? He made the fucking vice clamp move. I heard that shit. So did Facebook. Is it the best you got? Or what if it was my powers doing it again? See, that's the thing, Facebook. Between the magic I practice and the ghost in my apartment, shit moves on its own all the fucking time. And it's like, huh, interesting. Now, each one that I sell is not going to look exactly like these ones, but to a degree, this is what I plan on doing. Making basic ones like this in different colors and then selling them. And it's good seeing a product come together. Some of these are a bit more travel friendly because they're not as thick. Now, once that one is done drying, I'm going to put some Mod Podge on it. It looks ready for that shite. And then, of course, it will be joined with the rest of these that I hold in my hand. Those of you just tuning into Facebook Live, look at that. That's a handful of KobraCraft wands right there, right, just about ready to be listed and sold. Yeah. These are nicely tailored, if I do say so myself. And for the fact that I'm taking the time to carve these out of an actual stick and not just use a lathe, which anyone can do, and you know what you're doing, you know. Not knocking the competition, but I got the YouTube celebrity thing going, which that'll help boost sales. They'll be like, who's this newcomer to selling wands on Etsy? And they'll be like, damn, he sold out quick. How the fuck did he do that? I mean, I've seen some of the work they have on Etsy with the wands they sell, and there's some good competition out there. I will say that. I feel like a lot of sellers are selling themselves short on their product. They could be charging more for what they're making, but they don't because they're trying to sell it, you know, which is understandable. Yeah. Pretty much the only one that hasn't fully dried is this one, but it's damn near there. There's a couple spots of Mod Podge that are still drying, but it's not going to get all over the place, so it's dry enough to handle and look at and just inspect to make sure that it's looking presentable. That's cool. I did the paint job on that. And then you got the one that I'm painting right now and drying. That one is the polar opposite of this one. Instead of being all black out the white tip, it's all white with the black tip, you know. And this is a nice little variety, so. And once the first batch sells out, then they sold out and they get shipped and mailed to that person. And I'll to make more and keep selling them. That's all you can do. As long as I got the sticks and the supplies to make it, it's a reality. I mean, obviously you can see it's a reality. and using Facebook Live to show off my progress on these. Yeah. I bet no sooner I'll start making a video about it, and then as soon as the store goes up and everything, y'all are gonna be the first peeps to know. I mean, this is handmade fan merch right here. It doesn't get cooler than that, I'm telling you right now. That's the buying factor, I suppose, for a lot of people, but yeah. They take for freaking ever to dry, but totally worth it. So, 3 in one hand, 4 in the other, but 7. 7 wands ready to go, ready to be sold as soon as the others are done. And over the last couple of days, people are like making mad offers to buy them, and I'm just like, well, you gotta be patient. Unfortunately, these things, they take some time, and yeah. Three to the 4. Of course, I gotta advertise it on Facebook because that's the best place to start. Because then people steal my videos anyway, so it doesn't really affect me none. You're just spreading my fame. So, but at the same time, you know, stealing people's vids without their permission, that's kind of, you know, hey. It's always good to inspect your work before you sell it. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? And when you're holding something like this, it feels like you're holding a wand. That's what I'm getting at. I've been making these things for long enough that I think by now I've developed an art to it, I suppose. Taking sticks that you find in Mother Nature and carving it into a holdable work of art. That's what I'm fucking saying. And this shit keeps me out of fucking trouble, let's face it. I'm just sitting here carving walls, painting them, minding my own, you know. And if the fans take a picture holding them, whoever buys them, post a video with them, whatever, you know. That'd be cool too. Get the advertisement out there, you know. Ooh, the bell tower's going off. I hear it. There's a couple bell towers in Casper, and there's one going off right now. Fucking cool. It's one of those programmed sounds to mimic the sound of a bell ringing, but it's still cool. It's the one I'm thinking of. It's got this giant ass bell just sitting in there. Huh. I'm not a churchgoer, but I can appreciate a fine bell tower and or a clock tower. That's for damn sure. Right now, they're doing work on Big Ben, the clock tower over in London, and it's probably not going to chime for a couple of years while they work on it. Very delicate process. A clock tower is old as shit and cool as shit, mind you. It's got like what, 200 to 300, 234 steps, if I'm not mistaken. Or 334, something like that. And they're also working on the Leaning Tower of Pisa too. That shit. Oof. Historical landmarks like that take upkeep, damn it. And someone's gonna do it, It also takes money and funding and that sort of thing. And if there's not enough funding, then shit happens. But there's so many videos of Big Ben on YouTube ringing and chiming and that sort of thing. So I imagine if the people of London get a little jonesing for the sound, look it up on YouTube and they could hear it. It's not as good as hearing it in person, I imagine, but while they're doing work on it at least. I seen that fucking video on YouTube that was posted, I think, in this recent year, and I'm like, damn. All I can do is sit here and patiently wait for these fuckers to dry. And once they're dry enough to a point, that's definitely speaks for itself. It's a good feeling that these could sell out rather quickly. And really only time will truly tell once it's Facebook. Offering different colors, basic style, easy as fuck to make. At least on my end. As far as making my wands go, these take the least amount of time. And they don't look half bad either, so that's the important thing. But when you hear them clack together like that, I'm just saying, can you hear how solid they are? Thunder. Thunder. In the mirror. Thunder. If you have the guitar to go with it, it'd be sick as fuck. Dun, 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 dun. Now, but AC/DC references aside, you'll definitely see how they sell. There's definitely enough here so far. The batch is almost done. It doesn't look like much of a batch when the first 2 or 3 are done, but then it starts coming together and it's like, yo, progress. That's what it's all about, people. But let me tell you something, double standards are a bitch. If a woman goes to the salon with her friends and talks about her sex life with her boyfriend and the dirty details, oh, it's just juicy gossip, right? But if a man goes to the bar, tells his drinking buddies the same details, he's a fucking pig, right? Get the fuck out of here with that. Now, granted, yeah, some people don't like their shit being blown up like that, especially, you know what I'm saying? But at the same fucking time, it's not necessarily a bad thing completely. If you're bragging about how awesome the sex is with your partner, that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying. You know, I don't have to go into like extreme detail or nothing. I don't have to give out names, you know. Get it when I can get it. I'm not gonna fucking worry about it. I got wands to sell, money to make. I'm a bit more patient on this issue than most. It may not come off as such because I bitch about it, but I found that talking about it helps. It's a lot better than just not doing shit about it. So, like I said, I guess an independent sexual would be the word to describe it. Yeah. Being more career motivated and less motivated to date, especially when you get rejected more than you get accepted. That's just, you know, their loss, not mine. I'm a fucking YouTube celebrity, so yeah, their loss, not mine. Well, I kept the whammy bar that was sent to me just in case I may need it in the near future for a spare part. But, I sell enough wands. I can very easily buy that whammy bar for my Stratocaster that I customized. Some people will be like, what's the first thing you're going to spend it on? I found this whammy bar that has 3D skulls that are 3D going down it on the handle part where you know what I'm saying? It's a cool looking tremolo bar and it would accent the guitar very nicely. And I think the skin thing was a shitty joke, and the whammy bar was an attempt at something decent, you know, so. Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm not going to have to do shit. My demon friends will take care of those nasty trolls for me. Make their lives a living hell because they make mine a living hell. Put the demon back in the bottle. There you go. You gotta have control over your demonic power before you can attempt to use it. It's like playing with fire. You don't want to burn yourself or others unintentionally. And there is nothing so warm like the warm, cuddling warmth of hell's fire. Eternal warmth and comfort. Torturing souls who deserve it. I think for people who practice magic, in a sense, hell is actually their version of heaven. They get to keep their powers and they get to work for for Satan and his buddies, you know, and that sort of thing. But for a Christian or a Catholic, it's seen as a bad place. Someone tells me to go to hell, and I'm like, well, thank you. Now, getting rejected by chicks sucks, but here's how you can handle it. You go up to a chick, you throw some cheesy pickup line. Don't make it perverted on the spot. Most chicks are not comfortable sharing their perverted side with strangers. That's just how it is. You want to be real with it, Facebook. There are some people who are more comfortable being blunt about who they are, you know. I'm no exception to that, I guess. The ghost likes my TV. I had the TV making noises and shit. Ghost is checking it out. He's like, what the hell is this thing? Oh, does the ghost want to play? I had some interesting results with the spirit box that I did online a couple streams ago. I'm not going to do it now. It just seems kind of, it's like super late in the evening, and a nice quiet little Facebook live video is plenty. I don't need to be making a shit ton of noise. You feel what I'm saying, Facebook? Like a nice little wand making ASMR video. You know what I realized? If I play a song on Facebook Live and I sing along to it, then they can't steal my videos because they would get taken down for copyright infringement. I figured out a little trick to that. I noticed that on YouTube, when I went YouTube Live and sang a bunch of fucking songs, YouTube's like, not having it video blocked. Well, shit. How else would you describe someone who's asexual / straight? I mean, more independent sexual, I guess. If it even has to have a term. And there's nothing wrong with being career motivated. You know what I'm saying? If you want a smoking hot babe at your side, you got to step up your game, Facebook. It's just simple as that. You got to make personal gains in life, bigger muscles, a successful career, that sort of thing. If you want a higher quality dame, you got to have a higher quality life, you feel? And it doesn't do you, and looks are not everything. They say that, but it's a bunch of crap, because anybody who tries to say that, oh, the first thing I notice about a person is their personality, bullshit. Have you sat down with them and hung out with them for at least 4 days? You haven't? Well, shit. So your first impression of somebody is based off the way they look, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just sometimes society is what I like to call judgmental. They see some long-haired, metal, hippie-looking goth like me. And some asshole left a comment on one of my videos. He was like, get a job, hippie. So my response to that person's comment was, yeah, my job is fucking your mom. And then I blocked him from my channel. Some fucking loser who does stupid gaming reviews and saw how popular I was on YouTube. And it's like, whatever. And I don't need moderators on my own damn YouTube channel. I appreciate the offer, but if y'all being stupid on my YouTube live videos, y'all gonna get blocked. I saw when I did a Facebook live video, people were telling other people to shut up and chat, and it's just like, we don't need that crap on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? if you're doing a Facebook Live video or a YouTube Live video, you're going to be respectful of me and the people watching it. If you have an opinion about what I have to say, you can take it and shove it up your Asperger's. If you don't like what someone else has to say in chat, take it off with them outside of the video, because I don't want that crap on my Facebook. And quite honestly, I think we're all sick and tired of drama. I'll just speak for myself, but I may speak for some of you all out there. Drama sucks. It's just, there's no need for it. You know, it's pointless and stupid. It doesn't do anything good for anybody except cause grief and headache. And there are some people, both on and off social media, who like to start drama on purpose, just for people's sick amusement, because their lives are so shallow and miserable. And if you didn't hear it from my mouth, and it's just a rumor that someone started about me because they're jealous of my fame on YouTube, then that's usually what most of it is, right? I like getting pussy, but I don't have time or patience to deal with drama and bullshit. So if you're stuck in a shitty dating scene, or you don't get it very often, just appreciate it when you can get it and focus on other things. That's, you know, the best way to look at it. And you shouldn't feel pressured by society to go out and date. That's bullshit. People who are in a rush to find companionship are often the people who are afraid to be alone. See, I'm not afraid to be alone. I can do shit with my life. Craft wands, play guitar, sing music. Oh, my gift with music is wonderful, isn't it? I'm not trying to brag or nothing, but damn. Well, if you can sing like Bing Crosby, and the list goes on. The last video I did earlier today when I was singing copped out on me and stopped recording right in the middle of it, and I'm like, fuck off with that shit. That ain't getting posted. Now, by the time that wand is done drawing with the Mod Podge, the rest of the wands that I have over there stacked next to each other on the shelf, of course, will be completely dry. It's a sellable product if you have an audience. Having a shit ton of subscribers, that helps. People who practice magic, people who do cosplay, people who want something to display on their front desk, like, oh, what the hell is this? Oh, this right here? Yeah, it's a handmade wand. Now, shipping them with crystals attached, that's going to come later in the business, depending on how fast these handmade ones sell. Man, I thought about doing like one or two occasional crystal scepters and selling them on the website on my Etsy page with the handheld ones, but charging a bit more for them because of shipping and that sort of thing. Love is like a fart. It stinks, it involves assholes, and you shouldn't force it. Ain't that the fucking truth? Sit and chill and bullshit on Facebook Live while I make these wands, and yep, I should have enough leather to finish the handles on the last two, most definitely. Couple of basic ones that are just uniform colors, and then do like one or two that just go crazy painting them and shit. Because I could do one that's all black with just a nice green tip instead of one that's just green, yeah. Waiting for them to dry. That's the factor of the cost. That's why you're paying $20 a wand, people. These do not dry in like 5 to 10 minutes. It'd be nice if they did. But at a max, 20 minutes to cycle for drying, or for minimum, you know, depending on how much material I use. I checked the handle on that wand. It's dry enough to handle, but it's still a little bit sticky. Like it's dry enough it didn't come off of my fingertips, which is good. Very good, very good. Now the process works so well with the wand I made for myself that I repeated the process with a bunch of them for the Etsy page, and that's not too shabby if I do say so myself. I'm digging my new wand. That paint job is fucking sick. But you might want to be careful carrying them in like a belt loop if they're more travel sized, you know. But something like this, you know, if I could get every wand to look just like this one in different colors, believe me, I would, because this is where it's at. But this was made to brush up on my skills to make sure I still had it, and yeah, it's a good looking wand. I mean, I'm good looking enough. I shouldn't need to buy a fucking sex doll to get laid. This is bullshit. And the narcissism comes out. I wouldn't call it narcissism. I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of confidence in yourself, but too much confidence. And people can't stand you. They're just like, oh, he's too confident in himself. It's nerve-wracking. Son of a bitch fart. Son of a whore. That snipe tobacco's a little bit wet from the fucking snow, so it's gonna gob it up a bit. But until my bag of Cherokee black pipe tobacco gets here, that's all I got. I'm not bitching. A lot of pipe smokers would be like, you're smoking used cigarette tobacco out of a pipe. Oh, it's so sacrilegious. I'm just like, broke-ass autistic, what you know about it? I'm not complaining about it, though, you know. Because sometimes in life you have to make the best of it. There's just no way around it. And when these wands start selling, I may not be broke for very long. Air Bud. No, I have not seen that movie. I do know what it's about, though. I think it's some dog that plays sports or some shit. Yeah. The patience to wait for these fuckers to dry, though, that's where it comes into play. Shit, I have to leave that fucking bag open so that way the tobacco dries out. That might not be a bad idea. Man, I'll leave that to pack it fucking tight. I'm not a slight pack. When I read the review of Cherokee Black pipe tobacco, it said, nice, good flavor with a bit of a bite, but not too strong of a bite. Great if you're on a budget. I've had Cherokee pipe tobacco before. It's really good. The one I tried was the red one, and I had a big old bag of that. That shit lasted forever. Yeah, waiting for the wands to dry patiently. That's the only time-consuming part of it, because cranking them out like a Model T and carving them, you know, that don't take very long. But freaking waiting for them to dry, that is the only time-consuming part of it. And by the time they're done drying, they're ready to sell. That's when the money starts flowing in. And when that money starts flowing in, look out. I've been digging the burger recipes I've been coming up with lately. Using that Chicago style stuff to heat the burger up. That was a nice touch. That produced a nice bit of a burger there, yeah. I mean, I found the perfect picture of a Victorian Second Empire mansion that I could Photoshop to look like my dream house, kind of, minus the color scheme. And then when I pulled it off successfully and posted it to Facebook, I'm like, yo, that's cool looking, man. Now I'm going to take a picture of the wand for Etsy. I'll have a tape measure next to it so you can see how long it is. That way you know what you're getting before you buy it. You're not just buying some random ass thing. Now, while I wait for that wand to dry, I could work on another one that I was carving separately, just to hone my skill a bit. That's dry enough where the paint's not going to drip. But at the same time, I'm going to go just move over here. Sandpaper and stuff. I need my wood engraver for this one. Get a load of this wand that I just carved out right here. I'm going to put Mod Podge on it without paint so it dries clear. That'll look cool. But I want to carve a name into the side of it. See how I do doing that. That's going to involve me heating up the old wood engraver here. Took some sandpaper and roughed out the point to make it more smooth. I left some of the bark on there because that looks cool. Let's just be real. I'm probably gonna put some glue down here at the bottom too before I shine it up. That way the handle stays in place. But the next step after sanding the wand smooth is engraving the name of the person I'm making this for into the side of it. Consider it, I guess, a fan-made gift, but that's looking very nice. Make sure we spell it correctly too, otherwise it's gonna look like shit. Trying to figure like the best place to carve the name. Right here on the side, that'd be cool. Suppose while that last wand I painted for the batch before I carve out two more. Carving out extras and shit, you know what I'm saying? I might have to look up how to spell the last name, but that's quite all right. Nothing wrong with that. Ace is heating up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the wand down on the desk in front of me. Very intricately carve out the name with the wood engraver. I'll have to let that son of a bitch heat up a bit before I can carve with it. I got a spot I can hang it up on over here where it can heat up safely. And every time I've tried to make a wand for J.K. Rowling as a fan gift, they never quite turned out right. And I seen this stick and I was like, hang on a second. and using it to get better at making my own wands for the Etsy store as well. I thought, let's get this carving thing down to an exact science, if you will. And did some sanding on the bottom right here to make the bottom of it smooth. And then the point of it, that's a gnarly ass point. You're not going to find her direct shipping address online, obviously, so you ship it to like through fan mail or something like that, you know. Yeah. I was severely behind in reading when I was in grade school, and when J.K. Rowling came out with the Harry Potter series, legitly, that's actually helped with my reading in school and shit, so it's a cool series, don't get me wrong, but real magic doesn't work like that. It'd be cool if you could wave a wand and shoot somebody with sparks, but it don't work like that. Be cool if it did, though. So I'm going to engrave J.K. Rowling into the side right here, and then Mod Podge the whole thing so that it's a nice and shiny. After I make sure the handle's on there with a little bit more glue. Maybe like right there. Like Gorilla Glue that dries clear. I mean, I'll put a dab of it right there. And you can't even tell it's on there barely. I mean, you see a shiny little surface, but yeah. And I mean, if you're sending a wand to the creator of Harry Potter, I mean, you gotta make that shit legit. Something that's not gonna snap very easily, and something that not only looks like a wand, but it doesn't look like shit either. And it's not too skinny and not too fat, you know. And this is my best attempt at it, so I want to go with this attempt right here. Shine it up, make it look nice. It looks like some medieval shit you'd see, just without the paint alone. I mean, I can even offer a style of wand where it looks just like this without the paint, and it's all shiny and stuff. Because some people might be like, oh, you know, picky. Some people might be like, I don't want colors on it, blah, blah, blah. I can offer that as an option. Just make it shiny. Let's see. Right there. And that wood engraver is hot enough. I can engrave with it. Sweet. And carving out letters is not exactly the easiest task in the world. But this is kind of the concept I was going for when I tried to create the one. Like, I seen a vision of this shit being created. I was like, yo, maybe it's a sign. The first two letters aren't too difficult. The J and the K, that's not going to be difficult letters. Inspire creativity and good health and good fortune. Well, she's already got good fortune, but creativity and good health. Get in there. The K is kind of hard to form, but I got it to form. Just barely. Check that out. Facebook. Hell yeah. I'm gonna make the J a bit more defined. And some people would ask for custom engravings on their wands and shit. And I can offer this particular style of wand on the Etsy store. Just a basic wand like this with no paint personally engraved, but I'd probably charge extra for it. Well, I know the first letter is going to be an R. That's a no-brainer. Ghost just keeps fucking with the TV. It's funny. You can't see what I'm doing, but I have this wand on in front of me. And I got my other hand at a safe distance away from the engraver. I'll look up how to spell her last name so that way I don't fuck it up. Because this could be a cool looking wand when it's done, but it's gotta be done right. I can hold up on Facebook camera here a bit better so you can see what I'm doing. Now, about burning letters and engraving a wand, this is more time consuming than the drying, but the end result looks pretty cool. You can see the R starting to form right there. I did the same thing with Ozzy's wand. I touched up some of the engraving a bit. Made the Z's look like the Z's on my knuckle. Put a line across the middle of them, you know. I'm going to shine that one up and Mod Podge the handle. It'll look good when it's done too, you know. Just across that, yeah. The way you're gonna get better at making wands is if you actually fucking make them. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. see. Do a quick Google search and it'll help with the spelling, of course. R-O-W, see, R-O-W-L-I-N-G. That's easy enough. R-O-W-L-I-N-G, all right. And O is just a circle. That's pretty easy to engrave. Put a little bit of space between the O and the R. There we go. If I sit here in the little line that I did, I go in a little circle just like that. Eventually O will form as well. Simple enough. The W is just a couple of lines. Trying to make it kind of wrap around. Wand. So we got that looks pretty legit. An I and a G after that. Make it a little bit darker on that W on the other side there. There we go. And an N. G right at the tip. Well, the bell tower is going off again. Whereas I complete the G on the wand. Haha. Classic. That lowercase g is nice and dark. You can see it. Kind of faded in there. Like the O over here, kind of. That's cool looking. There we go. And over here. There we go. That G looks good. The L, the I, and the G. I'm going to make the W a bit more defined. That's why I have it on my desk. That's looking cool so far. I'm just saying, Facebook. That's looking like a fucking wand. It slips off the wand and hits the desk, but that's alright. Now, uppercase R's are going to be tricky with the engraver, but it didn't turn out too bad. Clearly got her last name and the G right there. That doesn't look too bad. Yeah, for the first half of it. Seriously cool looking engraving skills right here, y'all. Yeah. Check that out. That's legit. Darken the edges on the bottom there just a little bit. That looks nice. Darken the tip of that just a little bit. Be mindful of that last letter because it's on the end of it there, but just enough to toast the end of it here a little bit. Still leaves a nice point. Now the time it took us to engrave this here wand and add just a little bit of glue to the handle at the bottom here so that that's what's going to happen next so that it dries. And then modding it so that the engraving doesn't get lost. Yeah. That's how you do that. This stuff right here. To ensure that sticking on there. the last painted wand before I carve 2 more to complete the batch. Let's see how that's looking. It's looking kind of cool too. It's the polar opposite of the black one. And it's dry enough. And the leather's a little bit sticky right here, but I Mod Podge it. It'll harden up. So just like we was doing with the other ones, and make this part shiny and then the handle. So this one's just about done. Brush. And the funny thing of it too is Mod Podge is already white to begin with. So it'll match the white paint job, ironically enough, but when it dries, it'll be nice and shiny. Just like the rest of those wands. Goodness, that. To make up for slacking off and making the wands last week, crank out a bunch of these sons of bitches right quick. Really get that Mod Podge in between the leather, just like that. Yeah, there we go. Slather that up real nice, look like. Oh, that leather's just a tad bit still sticky. Put some more of that Mod Podge on there. Right here on the side, you can get it. There we go. Just like that. And the Mod Podge dries like glue, basically. So when I go to put this in the vice clamp, I want to squeeze the leather to it so it'll dry like that, hopefully. Just like the other ones. Well, likely it will. And following the same formula I've been following for the last couple of ones, this one should dry just as fine as the other ones. It's going to be a nice cooking when it's done drying. There you go. All things considered, that's not bad. Considering my hands could be a lot messier from making wands, that's not bad at all. It's minimal. So now I'll let that recently podge or mod podge, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I was calling it podged. Getting modded. What is this, a video game? No, come on. We can call it getting podged. Simple enough. It's a simple way of saying it, I guess. Now once that one's done drying, I'll add it to the collection with the rest of them. And then, yeah. I'll carve 2 more out here in a bit, but like maybe not right away. I've already cranked out like a shit ton of them, and to let that one dry completely before I carve anymore. production is looking good on these wands, peoples. If you're just joining me in chat, I'll catch you up on what's been going down. Wands, baby, that's what's been going down. Been spending the last couple of days making wands for my Etsy store for people to buy. I'll be selling these for $20 a piece, and that's a fair but competitive price, considering that these are made from sticks, not laid out. And some of these paint jobs are looking pretty sick, yo. So there's different colors. And when they harden up, man, and when they're completely dry, I'm telling you, these look and feel like legit wands. I got like 7 of them right here, 3 plus 4, so plus the one that I just finished polishing, that's 8. And if my math skills are correct, that means I got 2 more to carve out and paint. And the last 2, I'll just do whatever fucking color I feel like doing. Maybe do one that's like all black with the green tip instead of just this green one, like this one right here. And then do one that's just random colors. I don't know. But doesn't look like much of a product line with just one wand, but then you get like the first 7 done, and it's like, okay, now we're starting to get something here. And these are first come, first serve, and if they run out, don't panic, I'll make more. It's not going to be a problem. If they sell out quickly, that's usually a good sign. Started out selling basic wands like this, and then eventually worked my way into crystalled wands and that sort of thing, which are going to be a bit more expensive because, like I said, the shipping with those is going to be a bit more delicate. You know, the one that I just got done polishing is the polar opposite effect of this one, which is black with white. The other one's white with black. And you can see where some of that polish is still drying. And then when it dries completely, you can't even see it, like on this one right here. So they take a fucking minute to dry, but they ain't that far behind. These ones have dried enough to where I can sit them on the shelf in a group, get my bundle together. I mean, these take a hot minute to make, but that's a nice looking product line so far. After I got all the wands made, then I take a picture of them individually, list them on Etsy, finish making my store, boom. I mean, for years, people have been like, you can make wands. How much you charging for a wand? It's about to be a reality. 10 of you people might be the lucky ones to buy the first batch. So as soon as these go on sale, I'll let you all know, because I know a lot of people will want to get their hands on it. And really, as soon as I sell the first 10, that's how you start the business, basically. Because then I make 10 more. Once the store is officially open, I can restock. It'll say out of stock when they're all sold, but then I'll stock back up and making them. $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80, $90, $100, $120. Here's $140 worth of merchandise. in my hands. Boom. Shaka. Motherfucking laka. And they take a minute to make, like I said, but when they're done drying the finished product, it looks good. You're literally paying for dry time, unfortunately. That's, and of course, because who's selling them, that's kind of the key factor, but yeah. As it is the weekend, I'll take weekends off from making wands, obviously. That's fair. I mean, if I'm working Monday through Friday making wands and taking like Saturday and Sunday off from doing it, nothing wrong with that. All work and no play is, But the reason I've been so finicky about getting them done now is because I didn't, work on them last week, so. And doing this is a lot cleaner way to smoke used cigarettes than fucking sticking the used butts and no, dude. And this could carry me through for a couple days, or at least a day and a half, maybe 2 days. And by that time, my tobacco from pipes and cigars could arrive, so. But even at 3:35 in the morning, mind you, got 5 people watching this crazy shit. Eventually that one will be dry enough that I can stick it on the shelf next to the others, but that requires a bit of waiting, and there's nothing wrong with that because the end result produces a nice quality product here. And use mine as an example because it's just where it's at. Oh, there we go. Even that bag open for a bit, dried her out. Well, the Mod Podge doesn't take long to dry on the wands. I noticed on the wand part, it takes a bit longer on the handles, but uh, slowly but surely the wands, they come together and they're made in a bundle. And I'm going to showcase what I'm selling over and over and over. It gets the point across. See what I did there? I made a joke. It wasn't very funny, but not really that interesting, kind of nerdy actually, but whatever. At least I don't try to pretend to be something I'm not. Finished product definitely looks good. But is it good enough to sell? More than likely, yes. To avoid your wand snapping in half, it's advised that you be somewhat careful where you store it when traveling. Avoid wearing tight pants while carrying this in your pocket. I mean, if you do when you're walking, that's one thing. But if you go to sit down, you might want to take it out of your pocket just so you don't accidentally snap it. It would suck to spend $20 on a beautiful wand and then have it. It's not fun having your wand snap. I've been there. Of course, right after I did the spell with the wand, or I sacrificed it, I see a new episode of American Dad, and it featured a Victorian Second Empire mansion. I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. That's just a coincidence. I happened to play well with the theme of the episode. No bullshit. I mean, I could be one of those rock and roll fans that obsessively posts singing videos to various artists' Facebook pages. That'd be kind of cool. Like, hey, Ozzy fans, check this out. Do a local cover of me singing an Ozzy song and putting it on, Like, damn. That just feels a bit too show-offy, so I keep that on my own personal page for the most part. It's 3 in one hand, 4 in the other. Which makes 7. 7 wands. Good for you, you can count your numbers. Would you look at that? My Asperger's is talking shit again. That one sounded a little wet. God damn. Good thing the window's open. My farts are nasty, man. You think my powers are potent? My stinky ass farts, man. It's trying to say that with a straight face without chuckling just a little bit. I mean, the kind of fart where you hope to God there's a dog near you so you can immediately blame the dog for it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Those are some nasty ass, man. I'm telling you what. Dude. Waiting for them to dry sucks, but holding them when they're dry is totally worth the wait. This is product I can sell. And I wouldn't stay up so late working on these except, slacking off and not making them last week. That sort of thing. And making these for the Etsy store is going to take discipline and setting aside at least a bare minimum of 4 hours a day. It's, that's where it's at. Let people talk shit on this wand business of mine. This is at least creative. What the fuck are you doing with your miserable life? Oh, that's right, talking shit on me. Same shit, different day, right? It'd be kind of hard for the trolls to fire me from this job now, wouldn't it? Facebook. What are they going to do? Write a shitty review about my wands on Etsy? Come on. Watch like 10, 20 different people be like, I don't know where you're coming from, bro, but these things are quality, so. Maybe you're in a hurry to get to places. You're walking around. You pull out your wand, you wave it at the crosswalk sign, it turns to walk as soon as you point your wand at it. I've done that before with my wand, and it's awesome. The looks on people's faces when they see it, especially when there's no fucking button to push. And there could be a line of traffic coming in the opposite direction, but as soon as you walk up, boom, do your thing. And all that traffic just has to stop while you cross the street. It's like, yo, check that out. What's the one song by Heart? Magic Man, yeah. Maybe they wrote that song about me. Just kidding. That was a horrible reference. First 3 or 4 wands get done, you start seeing a product build up, and then the build up leads to more and more and more. Imagine me just sitting here carving out, making a shit ton of wands, and I have like a huge stack on top of my shelf. It could be done if I have the sticks and the material to do it, but I make as many as I can with the materials I have, and if they sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't, you know. This is a whole new business venture. A lot of people aren't going to hire me here in town just because of my YouTube, and that's just unfortunate. But it is what it is, even though they say we don't discriminate, but let's be real. Some of the shit I talk about on YouTube is controversial. And see how earlier all that Mod Podge that was on here was spots? No, it's dried on there pretty much completely. These are all completely dried and ready to be sold. And that one's just about there. The one on the vice clamp is just about there. Now the one that's drying on the vice clamp, the one that I just recently podged, is the polar opposite to this one. Like I said, it's all white with the black tip instead of being all black with a white tip. You giving people options here, you know, that's how you roll in this business. Yeah, I got some big ass fucking hands, so I'm measuring out the handles for these. I even leave a little bit past my pinky. So I know that the handles will fit most people. Holy shit. For as skinny as that is, man, it's pretty hard to snap. That's what I like to see. That's the solid wand test right there. I mean, I wouldn't try to snap it, but when that wand hardens after It's finished and shit, man. This fucker's solid. And something like this is more travel size, you know. Any spell that you cast, I would say cast it at your own risk, because whatever spell you cast can come back upon you tenfold. I have witnessed this myself many times before. And people here in town can buy them off me personally if they have the money in hand and I have the supplies to make it. You know what I'm saying? It can be arranged. Most freaking definitely it can be arranged. At what point does a stick become a wand? That's a good question. I suppose when the wand's finished, yeah. Simplest way to answer that. But this is a great way to advertise my product. Like I said, is to go on Facebook Live, and as I make them every now and then, you know, when I do chit chat with y'all about them and stuff, it helps sell the product. Man. Also, it helps answering questions you may have about a wand, you know, and that sort of thing. I'll do the best I can to the best of my knowledge to answer your questions regarding the wands and magic and that sort of thing. And some of it may be truth, some of it may be personal opinion, but you take it with a grain of salt, you know. I guess, because the way I do magic may not work for you necessarily. There's different ways of practicing magic. I find it laughable, but there are Wiccans who worship Jesus, the pagan Christians, basically, and it's like, what the fuck is that shit? But there are people who practice it, and it's laughable. It doesn't actually work. They're basically taking something and no. The idea of a pagan who's also Christian, it seems oddly enough laughable. Like mixing a Democrat and a Republican. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, at least there are some people who are split down the middle on some of the issues that those parties have, but that's a realistic thing. Worshipping Jesus and practicing magic are two different things completely, so it doesn't work. Any of these Christian pagans that try spewing their crap. They're just wannabes, man. Calling Jesus into your magic circle isn't going to do anything for you, or your magic is pointless. You know, if you're going to call deific forces into your magic circle, you'd use deific forces, but you don't use someone or something that's on the polar opposites of the religious spectrum. It just, no. That'd be like an atheist saying, I believe in God. Think about that for a second. How can you be an atheist and believe in God? It doesn't make any sense, does it? Exactly. That's a better way of explaining it, because some people are going to be like, well, I don't get it. Why can't you be a pagan Christian? Okay, let me explain it to you like that, you know. Like an atheist saying they believe in God. Like, what the fuck is that shit? That's snipe tobacco. Oh, it's got some bite to it. I'm not complaining. Well, it looks like the Mod Podge dried a lot quicker on the wand part of it. Yeah, the handle still looks fresh. I heard the bells go off again. Cool. As soon as I said it, it did it again. Weird. Casper's got a shit ton of churches. I'm not going to say which church I live by, but I do live by a couple of churches, and that would explain the bell going off. It's the automated system by the sounds of it. You can have your tower installed with a recording of a bell that plays, but that kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, for smaller towers, I guess it works. Or if you're on a budget, you know. Yeah. Of course, she'd recognize the clock tower in my dream house as soon as she saw an actual picture of it. Like if I took a picture of my dream house standing right in front of it, you'd recognize it as soon as you'd seen it. You'd be like, damn. What time is it? Audrey, let me check. Let me check my clock tower. Oh, it's about it'll take for fucking ever to dry, but once they're dry and they're ready to go. That's a great way to waste fluid now, isn't it? Slowly but surely, piece by piece, they come together. Now watching wands dry doesn't get much funner than this. All jokes aside, though, Perhaps another video when that one is done drying, you can see it. Right now, it's going to take a couple hours for that shit to dry, and this stream is most definitely long enough.